$539 more per month for Social Security, and $6,468 this year. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. All right, now in this video, I want to share with you the details of some new Gallup polls that were released and how this information translates into $539 more per month for Social Security beneficiaries and nearly $6,500 more this year. Let's get into it and talk about all the details. However, really quickly before we do, thanks so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe right down below the video. It's totally free to do so, and I'm here for you right by your side each and every day, watching all the new information hitting the wire, doing the research, and breaking it all down into these short videos so you can clearly see how it's going to impact you, your money, your benefits, your lifestyle, your bank account, and of course, anything popping up right now we can possibly grab and or take advantage of during this very expensive, confusing, busy, and uncertain time that we're currently living through. So again, I'm here for you every single day, no matter what. That's my dedication and my promise to you and everybody here in the community. And as always, I'm sticking to it. All right, thanks so much. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so, and let's get into it and talk about the new polls coming out of Gallup, what this means, and again, all of these huge dollar amounts on a monthly basis and an annualized basis for millions and millions of Social Security beneficiaries. All right, so let me talk you through the details of these new Gallup polls. Now, many of us have always heard of Gallup polls, right? Pretty reliable source of information. Let me give you the information here. So they've actually been conducting polls on Social Security beneficiaries for many decades. Here's what they found. Consistently, decade after decade, between 80 and 90% of Social Security beneficiaries rely on their monthly benefit for a majority of their monthly income. So in many instances, a lot of Social Security beneficiaries rely on their monthly benefit for all of their monthly income. Well, you can clearly see 80 to 90% of their monthly check is for basically all or the vast majority of their income. That's a lot of people that rely on their check, right? Again, underlying the importance of Social Security benefits for millions and millions of people who rely on them on a regular basis. Now, here's what they also found. From a separate study, for those individuals who do not receive Social Security benefits yet, between 76 and 88% of these people that were polled said yes, when they start receiving benefits, they're going to rely on their monthly benefit for the vast majority of their monthly income. So again, these are people that have not started receiving benefits yet, but will be receiving benefits soon, and they also agree. Again, 76 to 88% of those people responding saying, yep, they plan on relying on their monthly benefit for the majority of their monthly income. So again, once again, I want to say, underlying the importance behind Social Security, as this is a majorly important program. And again, I mean, do we really need to emphasize that? I don't really think so, right? But again, I just want to point that out because it's very clear what is going on here and what this means for millions of beneficiaries. Now, let's talk through the $539 a month and nearly $6,500 through the course of the entire year. To be exact, $6,468 through the course of the entire year, which, by the way that I arrived at that number and the way that they arrived at that number in this report is $539 by 12 months, multiplied by 12 months, is that $6,468 over the course of the entire year. Get this. Here's what they found. Over the last 22 years, expenses for fixed income beneficiaries, as in Social Security beneficiaries, have increased 130%. That's craziness right now, right? That's a huge increase. So these expenses, and again, when I say expenses, I mean those things that fixed income beneficiaries generally spend money on, as in housing, rents, healthcare costs, transportation, medical, all kinds of things like this. All of these expenses have increased on average across the board 130% over the last 22 years. However, how much do you think that your benefits, as in your Social Security benefits, have increased over that same period of time? Half, less than half of that, okay? So expenses have increased by 130% and benefits have increased by less than half of that. Well, do you see a little bit of a problem here? Yeah, very clearly, right? We don't need to paint a picture. We can all clearly see what is going on. And the problem is benefits are not keeping up with actual living expenses for fixed income beneficiaries. Well, get this. The study goes on to show that on average right now, this is on average, by the way. So again, the average beneficiary, some people this could be, say, $300 a month. Some people it could be $400. Some people it could be right on the $539. Some people it could be $700. It could be more, it could be less, but this is just on average. The average Social Security beneficiary right now is short $539 a month from what your benefits really should be if they were accurately tracking the real expenses for Social Security beneficiaries. As in, over the last 22 years, as all of these increases have been coming in, those expenses have increased 130%. Okay, if the actual increases to benefits for Social Security beneficiaries would actually be keeping pace with those actual increases to your lifestyle, things like that, and if your benefits would be increasing in conjunction with the actual expenses for fixed income beneficiaries, the average Social Security beneficiary should be getting $539 more per month right now on top of what you're already getting. Now, again, it's all based on averages, okay? So across the board for Social Security beneficiaries, most people get a different benefit, right? Some people get $500, some people get $622, some people get $713, some people get $921. You know what I mean? The list goes on. And again, I'm just throwing random numbers out there, but my point is virtually everybody gets a different benefit amount. So that's why I'm saying the averages are showing this much. Either way, we can clearly see here over the last 22 years, and as these reports are showing, that the average beneficiary is basically being shorted, call it $540 a month on average, right? That's crazy. I mean, just imagine that. What would an extra $539 a month do for your lifestyle right now, or $6,468? What would that do for your lifestyle on an annualized basis every single year? Would that be a little bit life-changing? Yeah, I don't know how else to say it. I mean, that would be the difference between possibly having a different car, possibly having a new place to live, maybe a bigger house, a bigger apartment. I mean, a nicer place. I mean, literally, the list goes on. Enough food on the table, being able to pay utilities and, healthcare premiums and all kinds of stuff like this on a regular basis. I mean, literally, I don't even know what else to say. I could sit here and go on for an hour talking about all the different things that an extra $539 on average every single month would do for the average beneficiary. It's a lot of money, right? That's a lot. Now, considering the average benefit right now, and again, this is Social Security retirement benefits, the average benefit right now is a tad over $1,800. That's basically a third more, right? That's a lot. That's a huge increase to benefits. So that's what we're coming out to right now. And this is what the studies are showing based on all this information. Now, what is this coming down to, and why is this happening? It literally just comes down to this. It simply means that the same thing that we've all known for many, many years now, which is, and we've talked about it before in other videos, but we know that the increases to benefits on an annualized basis for millions of beneficiaries simply does not keep up with the actual cost of living, right? So we know that the cost of living is X, or, it's different across the board. Here's what else is interesting about this. Do you think, and I'm just going to throw an example out for a minute, okay? Now, again, I could be, off a little bit here, but just stick with me to because I'm trying to illustrate a little example here. Do you think the cost of living is more expensive in, say, I don't know, New York, New Jersey, maybe Miami, Florida, maybe California, places like this? Do you think the cost of living there is more expensive than maybe like a small town, like, I don't know, Midwest area? Probably. And again, I'm not trying to point out anywhere in particular. I'm just trying to give you this example to illustrate a little bit that, the cost of living across the board, across the entire United States is different all across the board. Is the cost of living different from the North and South? Yeah. Is it different from East and West? Yup, sure is. Is it different from the Midwest to the East Coast and, West Coast and East Coast? Of course, it's very different all across the board. But what do they do with the annual cost of living adjustment for beneficiaries every single year? They do one blanket statement. Hey, everybody, you're going to get an 8.7% COLA this coming year. Okay, everybody gets it across the entire country, okay? For some people, it helps out a ton. For other people, it's not even anywhere close to what it actually needs to be. So kind of an interesting concept here, but, maybe, something like this along the lines where, just them basically figuring out a different way to calculate the COLA. And again, we've seen things coming out of Congress before where they want to change it from the CPIW to the CPIE and all of these other things like this. It's nice talk, but is it happening? They haven't done anything about it. They have not done a single thing about it yet. Maybe will they come forward and do something like that? Well, they could. Or maybe they could just really look at how beneficiaries, as in fixed income individuals, seniors, older adults, people with disabilities, those people that live on a fixed income, how they actually spend their money. And again, we can clearly see from the studies here, fixed income beneficiaries spend a huge percentage of their money, as in their monthly benefit, on housing. That's the biggest expense for a fixed income beneficiary, housing. It's a huge, huge expense. Next is usually healthcare. Healthcare is also a huge one for the vast majority of people. Then it's transportation and food. And then, of course, utilities are on there as well. But these are the highest ranking categories of where fixed income beneficiaries spend their money. So maybe, I don't know, the raises to benefits each and every year should probably have a higher weighting on housing, because that's what's most expensive. And we know, does housing go up every year? Pretty much, right? We know that pretty much. When was the last time your housing went down? Does anybody have an example? Probably never, right? Unless you moved. But for the most part, if you're staying in the same place, your housing probably does not go down. It probably goes up each and every year. Maybe it stays the same a little bit every so often, right? But then again, the same thing goes with healthcare costs. Does healthcare go up each month or each year? Yeah, of course it does. Just like the Medicare Part B premium, right? That continues to go up every single year, except this year, 2023, it actually went down 3%, which is a huge surprise. This is like the first time it's gone down in a very long time, many, many years. Either way, you can see the illustration I'm making here, which is expenses continue to go up, and they go up very substantially. Meanwhile, the actual adjustments to benefits are nowhere near what they actually need to be for beneficiaries, right? Anyway, some interesting reports here. I wanted to share these with you so you can clearly see what's going on. But again, at the same time, do we really need to elaborate on this all that much? Probably not. I think we all know what's going on here. We all understand the situation because we're living it, right? Nobody knows it better than the people that are actually living it. That's why Congress, do they really have a clue? Well, probably not really, because are they living it? No, they're not living it, right? They're living in their own little bubble. So anyway, I'm here for you in any way that I can be. Again, I want to bring this to your attention so you can clearly see what's going on, what the polls are showing, what the surveys are showing, what the statistics and the reports are showing. It's all right here. We can all clearly see what's going on. Anyway, I'm here for you in any way that I can be. Again, please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, so they can also see what is really going on here and how it's impacting fixed income beneficiaries. And then, of course, go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day, take care, have a good one, and I'll catch you again later.